Good evening and welcome to Daf Yevamos Daf Vav number 6. We have uh, amazing shear. I can't think of any more adjectives to describe how great this shear is. Um, it's a little cold outside today, raining. Daughter had surgery this morning. Daven for Shlema Sivia Bas Nachamat She's 3. She had surgery in her eyes, cross-eyed. Hopefully correct the problem. Um, been kind of a crazy day. I woke up at 6:40 this morning. No, I didn't wake up. I had to be at the hospital at 6:40 this morning. I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, and we got there at 6:30 in the morning. And we waited till 9 o'clock to do the surgery. Um, I don't think that's fair. I should wait till 9 o'clock. It was kind of crazy to wait so long. Um, anyway, let's get started with the daf. I don't have too much time right now. We're going to talk about today, again, with this concept of Eses Dochalosa. Say the Gemara yesterday wanted to find out how you know Eses Dochalosa Shishbo Karis, which is implied from the fact that you need a Pasuk Aleha to teach me that Yibum doesn't work, it doesn't get started, Malcolm Karis, which is the subject of our first Mishnah. So, the Gemara tried to bring it from Kibbut Avim, and the Gemara says Kibbut Avim is talking about Lav de Mechamer. It's not talking about Lav Sheish Bakari, so you can't bring a raya that the Torah says don't do Kibbut Avim when it's a violation of Shabbos, because the violation of Shabbos is a regular Lav, not Sheish Bakari. It's a Mechamer, which doesn't carry Kari. So the Gemara says, and we're going to discuss today, learn from a couple of different Makoros, and the main theme today is going to be about Hechsher mitzvah. That's the word. If it signifies something in your mind, think about what the word, when you first hear the word Hechsher mitzvah, what does that make you think of? What does that mean to you, a Hechsher mitzvah? And tell me, after this year and after eating with Ben Sion, we're going to discuss this in depth, what Hechsher mitzvah is, whether the definition that most Rishonim assume it means follows what you thought it was, because we're going to see it's a vastly different explanation the Rishonim give to explain Hechsher mitzvah, maybe even 180 degrees the other way. That will be Yom Ben Sion on a separate installment. Let's get started with the regular Daf Yomi here. The Gemara says the first line, the Kaima Lan, the Asi Esi Dachilos, the Gemara Mahacha. If you're going to say that the pasuk, when it says about Mora Avaim, Kedoshim, it says Ishimot Aviv Tirov, et Shabsosai Tishmoru was talking about Lav de Machamer. So therefore the Torah says it's Shabbos, don't violate Machamer, even though you're in Makayim Mitzvah Kibbut Avim by giving your father food on the donkey. The government should learn that even an essay is not Tochalose. We know that's not true. An essay is Tochalose. You can't learn a lot. Essay is not Tochalose. Shabbos is Chamor. Shabbos normally carries courage. So any lavim that appear on Shabbos are more Chamor. So therefore, normally essay would be Tochalose. But Shabbos not. Where it's about Tana Ba'amokai. The Tana was talking about other cases. When the brisa is a brisa regarding this pasuk, which talks about Shabbos, Ishim of Tirau gives examples not even related to Shabbos. For example, Shabbos Aveda. Your father says your father's a Kohen, you're a Kohen. Your father says, go to the Beis HaKvaros, go into the cemetery, and return a lost object to somebody else. Now you can't. You're a Kohen, even though you're Makayim a mitzvah of Kibbut Avim, and maybe also a mitzvah Shabbos Aveda, but you can't be Metamil a Mason because the Kohen can't come in contact with corpse tuma. Or you see, you're not in a Beis HaKvaros, you're regularly Israel, and your father says, don't return the lost object on the floor. And you know it belongs to your friend Johnny. No, Johnny's not a Jewish name. Your friend Mendel. So he said, don't return it to Mendel. You might think you should listen to your father. The Brisa says, not just by Shabbos, but all mitzvahs. The father tells you not to do a mitzvah. You don't listen to him. See, it's not even not Shabbos. The Gemara relents. The Gemara must be talking about the case on Shabbos. Is talking about where he tells you shkot liu basheli, or he tells you to Mekayim alav sheish bakaris. Because we know Ese is Dochalosa say. But Ese ain't Ese Dochalosa Shishbakaris. So why can't you learn out from there? You can't learn out from Shabbos because Shabbos is a hechsher mitzvah. When he says shchotli basheli, he says slaughter the animal or cook for me. Your father says that on Shabbos. That's a hechsher mitzvah. So if you hear the word hechsher mitzvah, I'm not going to get into this in great detail now because this really is a subject of Ian with Ben Sion. So I'm going to go with my explanation because it's hard for me to understand. Rashi says the difference is hechsher mitzvah. He says you can't learn that from here because the mitzvah b'kibbut ha'ayim you have to do. If your father wants an animal, he wants steak for dinner, right? There's no other way of doing it. You have to shech the animal. You have to cook them. You have to cook the meat. You have to grill the meat. You have to do something. You have to get it ready. There's no other way around it. If he wants the meat, he has to get the meat that way. So you have to do it. Mashen came by yibum. You don't have to do it. Yibum, you can do chalitza. You get out of do chalitza. You don't have to do yibum. So since you can do chalitza, it's not that you have to do the mitzvah. So by Shabbos, we would say all we can learn from Shabbos is that when you have to do it, right? So we say, but when you don't have to do it, right? When you don't have to do it, maybe you would be allowed to do it, right? Maybe you would be allowed to do Yibum. Because you don't have to do Yibum. It's not as strict of a mitzvah. It's not as a chiyuv gomer. It's not a chiyuv gomer that you would be obligated to do. It's not a chiyuv gomer that you'd be obligated to do. So maybe there's reason to say that it would be that an essay would be dochalos hishish bokaris. For a lot of reasons, it's hard to understand. We're going to go on and we'll discuss why it's hard to understand in the Yevamos Ben Sion. That's the way Rashi explains it over here. I explained the way Rashi explained, not the way I was going to explain it. I said I was going to explain the way I was going to explain it, but I didn't. I explained the way Rashi is going to explain it, the way Rashi does explain it. A lot of you don't have problems with Rashi, but we're going to go on for now. So you can't learn from Shabbos. Maybe you could learn essay and essay dochalos from Beis Hamikdash. You might think that building a Beis Hamikdash, you can even build a Beis Hamikdash or build a Mishkan on Shabbos. It connects in the pasuk Shabbos and Beis Hamikdash. You're all chayav in kavod Shabbos. Even building the Mishkan or building the Beis Hamikdash on Shabbos, you even on Friday you have to stop working on the binyan Beis Hamikdash. You observe Shabbos. You don't build on Shabbos. My love a bone of a sosa. Aren't we talking about building and destroying? Time of the Chazar Rachmana Shabbos sosa dishmor. The reason it says you don't build is because it's Shabbos. Halav haki daki. Otherwise, normally we would have a precedent from this pasuk. The essay dochalos yishbakaris. And it says lo lav de mechamer. It says. The Gemara says lo lav de mechamer. We're talking about in this pasuk when it says shabsos to the shmor binyan Beis Hamikdash. It's talking about not actually building the Beis Hamikdash. It talks about carrying bricks, let's say, on the back of an animal and leading the animal, which is only a lav. And still, the pasuk says it's not dochel. Oh, the kaimon dasi esay v'dachil lo say we know normally esay is dochel lo say the same question as before. Should learn from binyan Beis Hamikdash. Ein esay dochel lo say. Chitem shiny lavidim Shabbos chamir, like the same question that the Gemara said before, the suggestion the Gemara said before. Maybe Shabbos is more chomer. We can't learn from there. Your father says go and be metamel amesim and return an aveda, or he says don't return an aveda. You can listen to Damalomar Ishimov Diro Shabsos Lishmar Kulchem Chayav Mechvodi. It's not just Shabbos. All mitzvos belongs to your father. But we know essay is dochalos. Ela mishum nikol mifrach malahana shekin hechsher mitzvah. Again, the Gemara resists. The Gemara says these are hechsher mitzvah. For example, binyan Beis Hamikdash. Right? If you want to build a Beis Hamikdash, you have to be born of a soser. So therefore, there we would say essay dochalos yishbo karis. Right? Well, you're confused a little before what I said. I'm just clarifying what I was saying before. Hechsher mitzvah, because it's hechsher mitzvah by Shabbat, the father says shchotli basheli wants meat. Or here, when you have to build it, you have to build. If you want to build a base of Mikdash, you have to build bricks together. You have to put mortar between the bricks. So therefore, there's reason to say, essay would be docha lo seish bakaris kamash plana pasuk to tell you not that way. But yibum, you can do chalitza. There's no makor there's no havamina that would say essay docha lo seish bakaris. I would never have a havamina to say that. Could do chalitza. I wasn't clear before. I said the opposite way. Correcting myself. There's more reason to say by hechsher mitzvah because you have to do it. So therefore, it would be essay would be docha lo seish bakaris. The Gemara assumed we knew that already by yibum, but how is it so pasha by yibum? Yibum is not a hechsher mitzvah. You don't have to do it. Could do chalitza. So the Gemara says hechsher mitzvah typically mahasam. Why do you have to learn out hechsher mitzvah from binyan by samigdash? You already learned that from kibbutz aveim. In achanami, the Gemara says you're right. So what's the point of this pasuk connecting Shabbos and binyan by samigdash? Ladanya for a different limit. Yachal yisiari adam mikdash. You might think you're afraid. You should be afraid of the mikdash. How long? Shab so says Yishmar b'es mikdash kiti rava. Connect Shabbos and the building of the base of mikdash or the fear of the base of mikdash. Nemer shmir b'Shabbos, nemer mor b'mikdash. Just shmir b'Shabbos says fear of the mikdash. Mashrim b'shamur b'Shabbos. Just like a Shabbos, let me Shabbos have a siari. El misha his top above him base. El misha his year al Shabbos. You're afraid of Hashem who commanded you to be careful on Shabbos. Af mora hamura b'mikdash lo mikdash tam siari al misha his year al mikdash. You have to be afraid of Hashem, not on the actual base of mikdash itself. What's the nafkamina? Ezi mora mikdash. So therefore, what things are also also that you kind of start the Maharabayis from Maklo, Manalo, Mendosum, Avakshal, Rabiraglov. You can't go into the Harabayis, even next to the base of Mikdash, not the actual base of Mikdash itself. You can't go in with your walking stick or your Manalo, Maklo maybe is your baseball bat. But Manalo, you can't go there with your Crocs, Mendoso, your money bag, your overstuffed wallet. Or you can't go in barefoot. You can't make it a kapandar. You can't take it a shortcut. You certainly can't spit there, right? If you can't even go there with sackcloth, you can't even go there without shoes. Certainly, you can't do something disgusting there. But I only know all these prohibitions apply in the basic shows around. So therefore, Mora Mikdash applies even when the president, the actual base of Mikdash, the physical presence of the base of Mikdash is not there. Mora still applies. So really, two things are learned out from over here. That basically this idea you fear Hashem, and therefore, even though the base of Mikdash is not around, you still have to fear the Makom HaMikdash. And also, all these other restrictions apply. Not just that you can't inside the base of Mikdash, you have to be Zohir to have Mora Mikdash, and you can't say curse or do something like that. Even things which are just respect, you have to be knowing not only in the base of Mikdash, but even around the base of Mikdash, you have to be knowing in Yom of respect, not to walk in there with your Crocs, not to walk in there with your baseball bat, to dress in formal wear, not in casual wear or athletic wear. So the Gemara says, Ella, so the Gemara is still trying to find a makor that we would have a havamina essay docha elosish bakaris. And normally essay would be docha elosish bakaris. That we nalea tell me why yibud doesn't work. You should learn that from havara. The Tana the Beis Shmuel, Savaro ish b'chol moshe seichem. It says in Parshas, which was it? Kudei or Vayakel? We just did this. I forgot which one. It says Savaro ish b'chol moshe seichem. You shouldn't burn a fire in all your moshos in your houses. Matam alor, matam alomar. Either Rabbi Yossi, what is this supposed to come in to teach you? Either the Gemara said, the Gemara answered, either Rabbi Yossi the Lav. Normally, we know if you learn Masechah Shabbos, there's 39 malachas that you can't do on Shabbos. The Torah only mentions one of them, Havara. Maybe mentions actually two of them, Hotzah also, which is also, but directly it only mentions one of them. So why did the Torah mention specifically kindling a fire? So there's two opinions, two Tanaic opinions about this. Either Rabbi Yossi Lav, he says the reason is to tell you, there's a chiddush, that even though all the other 38 malachos, Chayav Kares and Skila, Havari only Chayav Alav. We don't pass. Either Rabbi Nassan Lechalik, according to Rabbi Nassan, we do pass like the reason that Torah went out of his way to say Havara, a pasuk that just singles out Havara, is to tell you that just like Havara, if you do it along with other malachos, you're Chayav Akol Malacha or Malacha Lachalik, right? Lachalik, if I do havara and I do binyan, or I do havara and I do svia, right? So I'm chayav on each of the malachos, right? Don't think that if I do all the malachos, 30 malachos behelam echad, right? I forget it's Shabbos, right? Normally you'll bring a korban. If you forget it's Shabbos, shogi brings a korban chatas for Shabbos. Forget it's Shabbos, and I do all 39 malachos. You might think I only bring one korban. Kamashma, no, you bring 39 korbanos. Lachalik, all malachos are independently chashuv. That's what havara, the chalik yos, that's according to Rav Nosson. Amarava Tana Moshava. So Rava answers. What the Gemara means over here to say over here is Tana Moshavos kakashale. Or bothered over here is why does it say the word Moshavos, right? Moshvosecha, Moshvos is your house. Moshvos Matam Olomar, Michti Shabbos Chav Chovas Hagufi. Shabbos has something to do with Eretz Yisrael, where you're living. It has to do with, it's a chova on your body, on the act of Shabbos. Chovas Haguf no Heges Biba Aretz Mechutz La'aretz. It applies to whether you're in Eretz Yisrael or La'aretz. Chovas Haguf, wherever you are, you can't violate Shabbos. Moshavos Kaz Rachmana B'Shabbos Lamali. Why is it mentioned Moshe Seichem? Normally means wherever you live. Why do you need to tell them wherever I live, even outside of Eretz Yisrael? We know that it's a chovas haguf. So the Gemara explains, Mishum Rabbi Shmuel Amar Talmid Echel Lefi Shnemar V'Chiya V'ish Chet Mishpat Mavet V'Humas. If a person's chayav a capital punishment, he's killed. Shomani B'Hin B'Chol B'Mishabes. Maybe he's killed. We're going to see in Masechet Sanhedrin there's 4 ways of killing someone, 4 capital punishments. 4 ways of killing somebody. So a lot of those, they pretty much all involve skila, maybe not, but sreifa, you light a piece of lead on fire, you put it down his throat, so that is bishul or avara, and chenek. I mean, all these things, you're killing the person, right? And Tilas Neshama is itself a malacha, and Tilas Neshama is a malacha. Killing someone is a malacha. So you might think these apply bein b'chol b'mishabes. One mekayim tachalem mos yumas. But it says that anyone who's machal Shabbos should die. So you're not allowed to machal Shabbos. The shar malacha is chuzim mises basin. That's talking about other things. Mises basin is an exception to the rule. You could kill someone on Shabbos. Or maybe when the Torah says mechalem mos yumas, you're not supposed to violate Shabbos, Chal Shabbos. Even when it comes to Mises Basin, when it says Vahumas that you kill someone, a capital punishment, B'chol Shabbos. You don't kill someone during other 6 days of the week. You can't carry out capital punishment on Shabbos. Oh, I'll feel Shabbos. Maybe you can say the other way. Maybe it does apply on Shabbos. That's why it says this pasuk, when it says the word Moshvos. When it talks about capital punishment, it says the word Moshe Seichem. Moshe Hamurim Lahalan Beistin. The Moshe there is talking about in Beistin. Av Moshe Hamurim Kamen Beistin. The Moshvos. When it says Lo Savaro Eish B'Chol Moshe Seichem, is talking about not just your house. It means actually Beistin, killing someone. Amar Rachman Lo Savaro, and the Torah goes out its way to say Lo Savaro, you don't. So therefore, my love Rav Nosson isn't. Are we going to say that the author of this Bryce says Rav Nosson, the Amar L'Chalik Yatzal, you're chayav kares for avara, but time of the Chazar Rachmana L'Savaru, and the reason is that we don't kill that you don't kill the person, you don't carry a capital punishment on Shabbos. Says L'Savaru, halav hachidaki. The Torah implies that normally an essay would be dochel shishba kares. There's a mitzvah humas, that's killing. Capital punishment is a mitzvah essay. By killing someone in Hilas Neshama, or we'll see certain types of mitzvahs based and carry an additional punishment for additional malacha. If you light a piece of lead on fire, that's bishul or avara. So that's an additional malacha you're doing. So you might think you could do that. So normally essay will be dochel shishba kares, but because it says Moshe Seichem Osavaru, so therefore you can't do it. Halav hakidach, and the rest is low Rabbi Yossi. The Gemara says no, maybe not. Maybe the author of this Bryce is Rabbi Yossi, who holds only a lav. So if they have a nami Rabbi Yossi, you didn't even say it's Rabbi Yossi. Emadam Rabbi Yossi havara lav yasa havara gredasa. He only said havara, which is kindling a fire. Havara, the based in bishul psilahu. But when havara, what is the havara based in? Based in, when they kill someone, they light a fire. They also light the piece of lead on fire and make it hot. And when you Uh, Bishop Psili, Bishop Psila, Mali Levashel Simonim. He says when you heat up a piece of lead, that's not a malacha of havara. That's really a malacha of bishul. Bishul, like cooking food. What's the difference if you cook spices or you cook a piece of lead? You make it hot enough that it'll kill a person when he ingests it. So the Gemara at this point is really stuck. The Gemara seems to have makor. The Gemara seems to have a makar at this point. That essay would be dochal karis. Because it says lo sevareish b'chol moshe oseicha yom Shabbos. The Torah go out of its way to say don't kill someone by being mavashal psila by sreifa. This is the way you makayim sreifa. Sreifa is not just burning him in a fire. You don't make a bonfire and put the person in the fire. The Gemara in Sanhedrin says it means you put a piece of lead down the person's mouth. Maybe it means electrocution, whatever it means. Bastards, it means you put a piece of hot lead down the person's throat and that kills him. Oh gosh. What does that mean? I lost my outlook. Yeah, let's think about this. Let's think deeply about this. All right. So we're left at this point with seemingly a makor that from Los Varish B'chol normally essay would be Dochel Bakaris. So the Gemara is going to reject this. Sorry to say, we'll have to see the rejection tomorrow, but at least tonight you can go to sleep knowing that the Gemara has found the makor. Essay is Dochel Bakaris. If you're having a hard time sleeping, not sure where the Gemara is going to bring it from, tonight you have a way to sleep. You have ability to sleep tonight. You don't have to stay up the whole night wondering where the Gemara is going to bring it from. Tonight you'd be content that the Gemara has found the place. Just ignore the fact that there's a couple more lines in this daf. Listen, daf vav and daf yomi, does it mean you finished the whole daf? No. Rubo, kula, most of it. It's like all of it. Hope you enjoyed today's shir. I know my friend in the back did. What's your name? Huh? Ariel. Ariel asked me if I put up the video yet about the siyum on Seder Moed. I did not put it on YouTube yet. It's going to be proof number 5 that I give the best. Zeharaya Hamishit Shani Noten HaDaf Hayomi Ashir HaHaki Tov Ba'olam. Mata Choshev Al Zeh. Huh?
You should do.
I should put it up? What?
What you should?
No, but Mata Choshev Marti. Zeharaya Tov, Ken? כן, אין סיום כמוני, אין סיום כמו שאני עשיתי טוב. It's better than any of the other not bogus. Listen, quality is quality. See you in Ian with Ben Siyum. When I say quality is quality, I mean, listen, there's other Siyumim that have a lot of people that come to them. I read today about, of course, the famed Daf Yomi Magid Shir, Eli Stefanski, who has made a family out of thousands of people. They sit down on Purim to the Suda together. They get drunk together. They tell all their secrets to each other. They tell all their bank account, their credit card information to each other. I know what it's like. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but I can imagine in such close-knit community, they're sharing credit card numbers with each other. I mean, it really is something special, but I don't offer that. I don't offer a community to you, but I do offer. I'm joking around. I'm sure it's nice. Listen, to have a community, it's nice to have people that care about you. But my Daf Yomi share is not geared towards that. It's not. I don't have anyone physically attending my share. My goal is to actually give quality share just for the share itself, not to create a community. I'm not here to have people calling me at 11 o'clock in the middle of the night telling me they want me to pick them up from the airport. That doesn't interest me, and I don't really want other people who listen to Daf Yomi share to feel obligated to pick up other people from the airport. I mean, you have families, you have your own responsibilities. Why do you have to? I mean, the whole thing of a community, getting involved in a community is a hard thing for me. I do believe it's nice to have comfort and to have people that will attend your simchas, but that's a whole other shmooze that we could talk about for a while about simchas. And the easy answer to the problem of why people spend so much on weddings is this problem itself, because people feel like you're friends if you go to a Daf Yomi share together, or you sit in shul and you schmooze for 2 minutes, tell him about Torah, you become friends with the guy. I mean, that's where all the problem starts. The word friends. Who is considered your friend? Why are you inviting these people to your wedding? Why do you have to invite 400 people to your wedding? Because the guy lives down the block and you go to the mailbox together to get the mail together? I mean, he's not your friend. You want a real friend, you have to have someone you really share interests with, you spend time with, and a married man doesn't have so much time for more than one friend. I'll be honest with you. A married man has only time for one male friend. That's it. If you have more than one male friend, you probably have no friends, or if you have more than one friend, then you're probably ruining your shalom bias and ruining your relationship with your wife and your kids. That's the honest truth. If you have more than one friend, you don't have time. No one has time in their lives. They're too busy with their wife, with their kids, with their parnasa, with their learning, whatever they're doing. You really don't have time for more than one male friend. I did have one good friend, Noam Israel, my friend. If you're listening, he doesn't listen to any of my shiurim. He doesn't like my Daf Yomi shiurim. He doesn't like anything. Even though I started learning Daf Yomi, I started giving the shiurim because he wanted a chavrusa. So I agreed. He wanted a chavrusa. He wanted someone to learn with. He's on a little bit of a lower level than me, a different background than me. He wanted to learn Daf Yomi. My friend Noam. So I made a deal with him. I said, I'll learn with you, but I'm giving you a share. So that's how it started. I think we started like Daf Yud, the third parak of Brachos. We started. I gave a share to him. This way, at least it was a share. It wasn't. I was giving a share. I was getting something out of it, not just learning with him. I don't just do chesed for no reason. So that's where it all started from. Parak Misha Mesu and Brachos Daf Yud Ches, I think it was. We started. I did start Daf Yomi before that. Then the V'Zakas Nida I started, but I started the shir then, and I don't think I actually started giving shiurim on camera until around the time he started. We started not learning together anymore because he was moving to Har Nof. He moved to Har Nof to the Neve campus, where his wife got a job as an aim bias Neve for girls. So he went to Neve for guys. Now he's at Neve for girls. It's called Come Full Circle. But he has deserted me and abandoned me. We were good friends. He was my friend. Now I don't really have a friend anymore, which is not fun. I mean, I like to have a man I can confide in. Most things I need to confide, I confide in my wife, but it's nice to have a manly relationship, because there's a lot of things that men can appreciate that only other men can appreciate. Men think differently than women. Anyway, if you want to be my friend, there's a registration process. We'll take your application and we'll discuss if you qualify for being my friend. And then maybe you can be my friend. You have to move to Telstone and we'll be friends. But only one person can win the sweepstakes of being my friend. So run here, fill out your registration, pay the fees, and subscribe and like and comment. See you later. Bye.